It appears the magician has finally run out of tricks. Centrist lawmaker Yair Lapid said in a statement that he had informed Israeli President Reuven Rivlin he had succeeded in forming a coalition government with Naftali Bennett, a former defense minister and one-time Netanyahu ally, as well as other parties. The government will do everything it can to unite every part of Israeli society, Lapid said to Rivlin. Will President Biden cancel student loan debt? Grand jury convened in criminal investigation of Trump Biden to visit site of Tulsa massacre 100 years after tragedy. Beto O'Rourke, Dems on Sunday stopped one of worst voter suppression bills in the U.S. Biden, 6 years ago today Hunter lost his dad and I lost my son. Tulsa residents mark 100th anniversary of 1921 massacre. What it means to stand watch at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Comstock, Capitol Police officers want, January 6th Commission full crowd, sick of playing game of whack-a-mole, with Gope disillusionment from Dems on display after Gope sinks. January 6th Commission governors offer cash incentives to lure employees back to work. Shows mayhem, frustration on Capitol Hill as Senate Gope poised to block January 6th Commission. Biden, Moon emphasized denuclearization of Korean Peninsula in joint talk. Biden thanks soldiers for their selfless service to your country. How college students can manage debt while federal loan payments are paused. Saying Warren, Biden could cancel $50,000 of student loan debt with stroke of a pen. Bennett, a former settler leader who shares many of Netanyahu's hardline views and heads the small religious Yamina party, is due to serve as prime minister for 2 years before handing over the reins to Lapid for 2 more. The coalition deal still has to be voted on by the Israeli parliament, but is expected to pass sometime in the next week. The new government will be made up of a diverse constellation, folding together dovish left-wing parties with right-wing nationalists in an unlikely coalition that speaks to a desperation felt by many Israeli lawmakers across the political spectrum to block Netanyahu's path to a further stint in office. But while his rivals have spent the past few days frantically finalizing their deal to oust him before a late Wednesday deadline, Netanyahu, 71, has berated what he called a con government and done everything he can to prevent it from taking office. He has also welcomed a number of Republican lawmakers from the U.S. to his office in Jerusalem, a sign of his continued support from the American right. The coalition government will need help from an Arab Islamist party, the United Arab List. Despite Arabs representing around 20% of Israel's population, an Arab party has never joined an Israeli coalition government. It remains unclear how a new coalition government with such disparate views and interests will be able to govern successfully. Meanwhile, Isaac Herzog, a veteran politician and the scion of a prominent Israeli political family, was elected president Wednesday. The role is largely ceremonial but is meant to promote unity inside Israel. Herzog, a center-left politician, is a former head of Israel's Labour Party, home to the founding leaders of Israel and the party that later signed the landmark Oslo peace accords with the Palestinians. Many in Israel will be hoping that the Bennett-Lapid deal can end the political deadlock that has plagued the country and led to 4 elections in the past 2 years. Each of the votes were seen as a referendum on Netanyahu's fitness to govern and each ended in deadlock. In the latest vote held on March 23, Netanyahu's Likud party won the most seats, but failed to secure a majority of 61 in Israel's 120-seat Knesset, or parliament. No party in Israeli history has won an outright majority in the Knesset, making coalitions a fact of political life.